Josh. Morning, Jonathan.
Morning, how are we?
Yeah, good, thank you very much. What was it like playing at Anfield on Monday?
I don't really think it's sunk in yet, to be honest. We were saying before, like under the lights at Anfield, you sort of associate it with Champions League nights and big moments and stuff, and then being able to do that at 20, I feel like it's a massive thing ticked off my career list.
Particularly when you consider that 11 months ago you're playing for Peterborough Sports in non-league, I imagine it was a real pinch me moment.
Yeah, it definitely was. I had a little chuckle with my dad. I think this time last year I was probably could have been playing in front of 50 people or probably max about 500 people, and then going and playing in front of like 60,000 the other night. It's mad how quickly it can change.
You didn't seem to wilt under any of the pressure, though. Were you pleased with what you managed to show under the scrutiny?
Yeah, I think I was pleased. I was pleased that as a team we put a good representation of ourselves out as well. I thought we were really structured and defended really well, which obviously we've had a lot of scrutiny and talk about how well we can defend as a team and as a unit and everything. And I thought that Monday night, I thought we were brilliant in and out of possession, and I think we showed that against some of the world's best. So yeah, I think I'm both personally and as a team, I think I'm very impressed.
Scoreline was a bit harsh in the end as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think 2-1 till the 86th minute against the Premier League champions. I think you can't have anything bad to say about that. I think when they're bringing on players they were bringing on and how long we had to defend the box and all of that, I think we just got tired in the last 10 minutes, which is understandable. I think that's what led to the scoreline.
Two-part question. How pleased were you for Adam Phillips to score against his boy club, and can you quite believe what Dominic Szoboszlai tried to do?
I have no idea what he was trying to do, to be honest. After putting one into the stanchion from 25 yards out, I don't know. I have no idea, but I mean, we'll take it, and I'm sure Philo will take it. He was over the moon, and if anyone was going to score in front of the Kop end, it was going to be him, wasn't it? Let's be honest.
It certainly was. Yeah, I spoke to him on Monday, so a great moment for him. For you personally, have you managed to take stock at all of how your career has ballooned in the past 12 months?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I guess I just sort of. Like I've said before, just sort of try and take everything as it comes. It felt a bit like a fever dream when I was walking out there and they were singing, you never walk alone and all of that. And it's just nice to be able to put a performance alongside that and give my family something that they can be proud of and sort of understand that maybe all the years that they've put into me and all the miles driven and everything are starting to pay off, and I think that's the biggest thing for me at the minute.
Has it given you a real taste of something to work towards?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I said to my friend yesterday, I said like, I've sort of hit the pinnacle of what I want to do already. So it's like, what am I working towards now? But it's working towards just trying to be. Have experiences like that every week, and it's not just once in a lifetime. It's not just once in a career. It's sort of, I'm looking forward to playing in front of that many people as often as I can be, and that's what I've got to try and strive towards now.
Football being what football is, there's no excuses now in League One, is there? After you've shown what you can do against the Premier League champions. No,
exactly. At the end of the day, it was a little bit of a free hit, Liverpool. Not many people expected us to do much against them, and how much money they've spent and all of that. Whereas, the league has always been our priority. And again, although how nice it is about Monday night, then if you can't back it up on a Saturday in the league, then it's not meaningless, but it definitely puts a sour taste in your mouth.
You've already alluded to this, and I spoke to Connor after the game on Monday and today, in the fact that defensive improvements are required. Is that the key, do you feel, as a team for you, getting away from the bottom end and heading towards the top end of the table again?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's been something that we've spoken about a lot this year. Connor and the staff are making tweaks and improvements, and in terms of shape and formation and all the rest of it and how we're structured. But like I said, I thought Monday we were brilliant structurally. Made it really difficult for a really good team to break us down. And I think we need to take that belief that we can do that into the league games, and if we defend with the mentality and the will to do what we did on Monday night, I think we'll be absolutely fine.
And there seems to be some radical changes this month. Connor's talked about shaking the squad up a little bit. Is that keeping everyone on everyone's toes right now?
Possibly. I don't really know, to be honest. I sort of there's been a few boys obviously have left the building, and I'm sure a couple will come in, but that's just football, isn't it? That's January transfer windows for you, and I think everyone, if you're not, whether you're playing or you're not playing, you just got to be aware that you can come, you can go. That's football, and that's what we're used to. So
it's over a month since your last win. How determined are you to get those 3 points against Blackpool this weekend?
Yeah, we're desperate. Look, there's no shying away from the fact that we're desperate to be back winning games. The place as a whole, especially when it's cold and it's dark, it's a lot happier of a place when there's points on the board and we've got good performances and we're winning. So it's needed Saturday.
You see the same atmosphere as well, don't you? Because the 6,000 that travelled to Anfield on Monday, they gave you some incredible backing. If you can get that week in, week out in League One, I suppose that can really stir you as well.
Oh yeah, they were, for a lot of the new boys that haven't experienced some of the nights that I've been at Oakwell as a fan, from what I remember, the Chef Wednesday at home game when Kitch scored to make it 4-2, some of them, I've got memories up in the stands of that. So for some of the new boys that hadn't experienced that, what they experienced Monday night with how good the fans were, and when we were on the pitch, we could hear them the whole game. And any time we did anything good, we could hear them, and I think that was a real booster for us, as well as sort of letting the new lads know that when we're doing well and we give them something to cheer about, they'll be right behind us. So hopefully, come Saturday, we'll carry on with the performance that was Monday, and get a win at home.
Sounds like it's a club that means a heck of a lot to you.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. They were the club that Barnsley's a club that's given me the chance when I got released from West Brom, and I didn't really know what my next steps were. I couldn't really imagine how my career sort of panned out. So yeah, there's no denying that the club as a whole and the people in the building that I see every day mean a lot to me.
So just finally, you ready for the next couple of months, because you're going to be playing a heck of a lot of football?
Yeah, I'm again, like I said to you, I think last time, if I could play a game every 2 days, then I'd love it, and I think that's going to be the case, isn't it? It's looking like it's going to be a busy schedule, and to be honest, I can't wait. Hopefully, everyone stays injury free, and we have a full squad going into these games, and we back ourselves and hopefully get a run together.
Brilliant. Well, congratulations for Monday, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much. See you later. Thank you.
Hi, Jono. Was that what you just mentioned about West Brom when you were sort of 15, 16 getting released? Was that something that you thought about and talked about when you go into Anfield? Because it's a big journey from that to that, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think, me and Reyes, having both come through West Brom together sort of from young ages, if you'd have told us, I don't know, 8 years ago when we were together at West Brom that we'd have been playing together against some of the best players in the world in front of 60,000 fans, we'd have laughed at you, I'm sure, and my family would have laughed, So it's definitely something I've thought about, and a lot of lads that I was playing football with there, or ex-coaches, have messaged me saying that they'd watched the game and how well I'd done and all of that, and it's nice. It's just another step, and sort of I'm past that now, and I just look back at it fondly.
And it was pretty much Liverpool's proper midfield as well, as Szoboszlai was mentioned before, Alexis McAllister, Curtis Jones. What was it like playing against those players, and what can you learn from it?
To be honest, they're exactly who I wanted to play against. I didn't want them to play any sort of second string team, if you want to call it that, which even then they're multi-million pound players. I wanted them to go as strong as they could, because you want to see how far off the level or how close you are to it, and just see them in the flesh. And I think, they're athletically, they're physically so good. Like, they just don't stop running for the full 90 minutes. Even you talk about the midfield, but I mean, Curtis Jones was pressing non-stop for 90 odd minutes, and it's just, I think that's probably the biggest take is the intensity of it, and how much they're willing to put in the hard yards, as well as being so good technically.
Do you sort of talk or interact with them any time during the game or after swapping shirts?
Yeah, I mean, you try and stay in your own bubble a little bit. It depends what you get out of it. To be fair, like, me and Curtis Jones had a little bit of a chat at times, but that's only because I was stood next to him when the ball was out of play. Or when Davo hit the post, he mentioned something to me in the first minute. So I try and sort of just stay to myself and not poke the bear too much, and try to wind them up. I know that's some people's techniques, but I'd rather not do that.
No, that was a big moment. You able to say what he said?
He just said it was in his Scouse accent. He said it was a big chance. So yeah, that was about it.
Okay, for yourself and Vimaldo, obviously academy players playing in that midfield, and you've rightly got a lot of praise for both of your performances. I mean, it's a big confidence boost for you, isn't it? Yeah,
definitely. I think it's probably the first time, from what I remember, that in the league or in any, obviously it wasn't in the league, but in any comp this year, that me and Vimal played actually next to each other, and it's just been us two in there. And I thought, the way that we complemented each other and stuck by each other and backed each other up, I thought was really good. I watched the game back again, and I just thought we were really good as a whole, as a unit. But it's nice for me and him being so young and playing next to each other in the 18s and stuff, to be like, we can do it in at the highest level, hopefully.
You had a shot, obviously, you saved. Did you think you had a chance of going in?
Yeah, for a split second, I thought I was running away Shearer in front of the cop. But no, I think I've watched it back. It's a pretty comfortable save for him in the end, but I've hit it well. So I thought, you give yourself any chance, don't you?
Exactly that. Moving forward, obviously, we had Luke O'Connell suspended the last few games, so people have had to step up. Obviously, he's a huge player and captain. Do you feel like you're one of those players who just needs to step up in his absence for these 3 games?
Yeah, I think so. I've played a lot this year, and Luke has helped me a lot off and on the pitch when it comes to just everything. So I think whilst he's out, there is a little bit of a hole in midfield. There's no doubt about that. He brings so much to the team, with the ball and without the ball, that someone's going to have to fill it in. And whether that's me or that if Vimal plays there again, how good he was Monday night, whoever it is, has got to just puff the chest out and get on with it.
Obviously, there was a lot of talk after the game about a fantastic night, but a young team just needs to refocus now on the sort of bread and butter of the league. You seem obviously like a pretty focused person, but do you think that's quite important, just making sure that that's kind of gone now, and this is all arguably an even bigger game? Yeah, definitely. I think, like I said before, it was a bit of a free hit. Amazing how well we played and the experience and everything, but if you play well at Anfield and then you get relegated at the end of the year, no one cares at all. So we know exactly what the main focus is, and like you say, although it's a young squad, there's a lot of hungry boys there that are willing and desperate to get back to winning ways. So hopefully we can do that Saturday. Great stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Jono, you okay?
Hi, Leon. You're right, yeah.
Yeah, all right, mate. Yeah, I was just sort of thinking, your mates back home in Shrewsbury, they must be really proud of you. I've obviously seen you the other night and seen how far you've gone and everything.
Yeah, definitely. I think my phone was so hot Monday night, Tuesday day, just full of messages from people that have seen me growing up, played with me at Sunday League level and all the rest of it, that had watched the game, and were just so much messages of support. And I'm really thankful that I have that support network. I had a few of the boys at the game with my family, and they were cheering me on and everything. So it's just nice to see how many people are sort of just wishing me luck and all the rest of it in my career.
Yeah, and being representing the county well, and you're proud to lock in it. It's a bit of an inspiration for the areas. I mean, obviously the football teams have having tough times and you sort of climb the flag a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully, there's a couple of boys now that are playing in and around league football from Shrewsbury, which, when I was growing up, the last ones I remember were like Dave Edwards, Billy Jones, Joe Hart. They're 15 years older than me. So hopefully now for the next sort of generation of people that are coming through, whether it's, in Shrewsbury or nearby, or, realise that it's possible, and that's so nice to sort of think about and hear.
As much as it was a great night for you, you're someone you're not the sort who will get starstruck or sort of carried away or anything like that. I mean, it's not like you've got a sporty family, so you're pretty grounded in that regard. It's a good experience, but you've got to sort of park it down.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I think the only time I was nervous, don't get me wrong, but I think when I'd walked out and we were shaking hands and, like I said, they were singing "You'll Never Walk Alone," like I didn't feel like it was real. I thought like I was going to wake up and, sort of get on with my day. But no, it was the moment the whistle went and Barnsley fans were cheering and I got on the ball and stuff, I felt absolutely fine. It was like I was playing any other game. So
yeah. I mean, it's been a tricky season. I mean, this sort of next. You've got Saturday and a clear week, but it's a real intense block. It's going to be Saturday, Tuesday, and I guess you're the sort you probably love that, don't you? Really play, rest, play again, and you can't get enough of it, really. Yeah,
definitely. I think that's what you play football for, don't you? I don't play football to train for 2 weeks. I want to play. I want to play as many games as possible, and it helps when you're winning games, and hopefully when we start to pick up a couple of wins, the more games you play in quick succession, the more chance you've got of going on a run. So that's what we've got to look towards.
What's been you've had a breakthrough year. What's been the sort of best aspects of your sort of season so far, would you say?
In terms of fixture or like?
In terms of yourself, you sort of development of your game. Is there anything you've been really sort of pleased, especially pleased with this year? And is there anything that you want to sort of get better at as well?
Yeah, I think I'm becoming more comfortable, dealing with the ball under pressure, and I think my out of possession's coming along. I just think it's something that I want to keep working towards. I want to be a pain to play against. I don't want people to enjoy playing against me, and I think that's sort of where I want to, strive towards. So I think that's probably what I want to get better at. And like I said, I think my composure and sort of how comfortable I feel on the pitch is something that has been good this year.
Have you got more vocal, would you say? I mean, you seem to be pretty confident, lad.
Yeah, I think I've got more vocal. Like I said in the last one that Luca's on at me all the time to be louder, but I'm trying my best to be as loud as I can, and I think I'm starting to get used to being out of breath and still having to shout at people.